It is Christmas week, and I know lots of podcasts are not dropping shows because they're taking the holidays off. That's not us at Dog Podcast Network. We want you to have stuff to listen to while you are visiting and traveling, and all of our stuff is very family friendly. And that's what we're going to tell you about on today's special live for the holidays. I'm James
Yeah.
Jacobson in Maui.
And I'm Claire Mansell in London, England. And yes, definitely the new episode of Dog Edition, great one to listen to in the car with your kids if you're doing any long journeys. And I have to say, I'm not doing any long journeys at Christmas. And I'm very pleased that I don't have to. I feel it must add an extra layer of stress if you've got to kind of drive 4 hours across the country to go and see that relative and then another 2 hours to go and see that relative in the traffic jams. So, relax, take some podcasts with you, and it definitely helps the journey go quicker, I think.
And the weather here in the US, pretty much every state is horrific, really bad. So it's going to create a lot of delays. So if you're at the airport or if you are on the roads, listen to some family-friendly podcasts, because everything we do at Dog Podcast Network is for the family, including this episode for Dog Edition, which is our flagship show. Because, Claire, tell them what is so special about this Christmas episode.
Yeah, so this episode's called "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," and it's a performance of a Christmas poem which was written by a lovely lady called Janine Stanley, and she is a disability advocate. And she wrote a series of Christmas poems about dogs a few years ago, and this is one of them. She has her own guide dog, so she tells us a little bit about that, and she tells us a bit about working with people as they get their own guide dogs as well. And then we have this lovely performance of this Christmas-themed doggy "'Twas the Night Before Christmas"
And
story.
Who performs this?
Oh, these two amazing people. You might have heard of them before. It's me and Father Christmas. That's the second person.
That's right. Father Christmas. I play the role of Santa, but I don't want to reveal too much, because this is "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" like you've never heard it before, because it deals with a very special type of dog. So it's a very cool episode, and I hope you will check it out. And you can find that at dogedition.com.
Now, the long leash this week, the Dog Genius Challenge with Dr. Claudia Fugaza. This was something which took place during the pandemic online, because everything was online in 2020. And it was a really fascinating scientific study which they did, which they turned into a very clever participatory exercise, and they by putting it all online. So they were looking to study things. She happened to come across this dog called Whiskey, who she was told recognized the names of 50 toys. She was very cynical, wasn't she? She was like, yeah.
She didn't think this was possible, that you could have a dog who knew 50 different toys by name.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, the bit where she said, well, we thought maybe the dog was being told the name of a toy and then was picking up the visual clues from the owner as to which toy it was. I was thinking, that's still pretty clever. Even if it was doing that, that's still pretty clever. But it wasn't doing that. It was actually recognizing individual names. So this inspired this study into dogs recognizing language and knowing different toys. And they found 6 dogs, and they put them through this challenge to see if they could learn different toy names. And you can see the videos on their website, and it's fantastic, isn't it?
It is a really interesting conversation. Claudia Fugaza is one of these researchers. She's the one who I spoke with on TLL this week. TLL, the long leash. But it turns out that there are a whole bunch of these academics who really rigorously study dog cognition in parts of the world that, this is I think from the University of Yugoslavia. Is that right?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah.
Hungary.
Yeah.
It was maybe, I think it was Hungary. So it was, really interesting that people in places that we may not think about are studying this, and she's Italian, and it's just a really interesting conversation, because we think our dogs are geniuses, Well, there are many different levels of genius, and we get into that, and it's a fascinating conversation. So check that out. You can find that at longleashshow.com.
And without giving anything away, but just to drop a tantalizing nugget here, there is one particular breed that I've noticed come out of this particularly well. You have to listen to the Long
Yes.
Leash to find out
Is
which
that
breed
your
that is.
dog?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Could
Yeah.
be. Could be.
Mm.
So, yes, that's what's happening on the podcasts this week. And what have you been up to, Jim? Preparing for Christmas?
I have not been. I'm one of those people that has been thinking that I would be taking off a little bit of time, but I haven't gotten to that point, and I'm not sure if I will be able to get to that point because there's
Oh,
so much work to do. But I want to recognize that it is that special time, and we should take a little time with family and friends. And so I did have lunch with a friend yesterday, and that was
and
very
dogs.
lovely. And dogs. Make
And
sure
dogs.
you do spend time with your dogs.
Yeah.
Our little dog, you saw that little dog. So this is, I didn't want to say the dog that I am fostering, that my wife and I are fostering,
Your
is
roommate.
she's a roommate. Everyone thinks that we're going to be that she's going to be a foster fail, i.e., we will adopt her. I'm trying to stay strong, but I will say that Chloe is an awfully good advocate on her own behalf to stay here. So to that end, we are doing an episode of Dog Edition coming up in the future to really look at genetics, and we're going to look at her genetics and find out exactly what kind of dog she may be. That kind of dog that's really smart or not, but it's really interesting. So she is winding her way into our hearts, but I'm trying to stay stoic and to be a good foster parent and make it a perfect home for wherever she ends up.
I can't imagine for a minute why people think that you are being a pushover with that dog. Every time I speak to you and you have her just like here, and she's like a cross between a cat and a dog and a lamb. She's just like
She is. It's funny that you say lamb. So I bought her little lamb toys. She has a lot of toys. She loves the lamb toys. The other toys not so much, but she really just adores them and kicks the heck out of them.
And has she learned the names of 50 of them in a week yet?
No, but she is able to differentiate
Slacking.
a lamb versus a donkey versus a monkey versus so the lambs, which she looks like, I think I agree, are attractive to her, and so she pummels that
she
thing.
Thinks them her babies, or
ooh, well, I hope she doesn't treat her babies like that.
Okay,
she's pretty tough with them.
Maybe.
But she is adorable. She is really working hard. As I say, she is just, what is the old thing? Like the old guy, like, take the puppy home and keep it for a week or two and bring it back.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a little bit over a couple weeks. So I got up early this morning. I made chicken breast and Brussels sprouts for her, and she's eaten like one of my dogs, and that is an upgrade to the kibble she was getting.
If you rehome her, which obviously is the plan, Jim, she'll probably just escape from the new owners and just like, I don't like the food. I'm going back.
The food and the bed. Oh my God, yes. So
either that, or the potential adoptees will come round, see her, and you'll be like, well, this is the food we give her, this is the bed we have, and they'll be like, no, I don't think we can keep up to that standard.
Dogs are very lucky to come live at Chez JJ is what we call the house.
Yeah.
So yes, anyway, that's what's up in my end of the world. What about with you, Claire?
Well, this is also something that's going to be featuring in an upcoming episode. I went yesterday. So I run with my dog, and I've sort of been running informally with her. So sort of, like a lot of hobbies where you kind of start out when you haven't quite got the right equipment and things.
Right.
And in the UK, running cross country with dogs is called Canicross. And as I say, we're going to be doing an episode about this because it's a really big growing sport. And I started out with literally a leash that had like a loop in it. And then, of course, that's terrible because it goes across your back, and then, you end up with a sore back. Yesterday, I went out and I got all the equipment, which was quite expensive. But yeah, today I went out for the run, and we're on fire, Maple.
It's no longer a casual thing. It's vocational now.
Yeah. We're properly on fire. We've got all the equipment, and I've got the special harness that I wear, and she's got a special harness she wears, and it's all color coordinated. It's great.
Well, we will be looking forward to seeing videos of that, Claire.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
gotta do that.
Okay. We will do that. And if you want to subscribe to our social channels so you can see what we have, well, please head to our main website at dogpodcastnetwork.com. The social stuff is there, and you can follow us wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on YouTube and wherever you're watching this right now.
Okay, well, and it only leaves us to say Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas and Merry Christmas. And Happy New Year and Happy Hanukkah. And we will be back next week. Thanks for joining us today. And please do us a favor. My Christmas wish for you is if you could tell someone about Dog Podcast Network and also give your dog a really big hug.
Sounds good. Bye.